Hey Clashers, I have new bases to use, the best of the best bases from the last Castle Cup, and obviously with all of those amazing traps. And I want to give a huge shout out to Eltano and Hartik for building those two bases. The first base which we're taking a look at right now is actually built from Eltano. We're going to dive into that in just a second, and the important thing is, I mean, you can just go the easy way and copy the base down below in the comments, but I will as well explain to you as well how you can tweak this, how you can improve your base building skills, and maybe just the skills in tweaking bases and making the base that it fits for your style, because obviously not everyone is getting attacked only by Lalo. Most of the people are getting attacked by super dragons, lighter dragons, things like that, or like 10 Yeti attacks, things like that. And yeah, for that, you should definitely stick around. As well, if you want to get your own bases, which means they're not posted on YouTube, make sure to use the link down below to get onto the RH Base Building website to buy your own bases. If you want to, you can use the code ITSU to get 10% reduction on your price and on your on the bases which you're going to buy. But now let's get started. Let's get started with this really beauty of a base from Eltano, as I said, and we're starting things off with the also classic Tessa form. It is something which is getting kind of familiar, and as well, it is just so good. Obviously, you can rotate those Tessa around to somewhere else, depending on what you expect, which might face you. But just having this Tessa form denying warden walks and smash attacks is just so good. Otherwise, we can just keep going. I hope that there's no more laggy. No, I think we're fine now. Then a lot of black mines in the core. That's where most of the time the warden ability ran off. And then the super dragons or electro dragons or whatever the other attacker is using, they're going to have a really big problem against those black mines. The next thing, overall the setup of this base is really screaming for air, because we're taking a look at the sweepers. One sweeper to the left, one sweeper to the bottom side, which means the top right side is not getting covered at all. So sending the heroes into the eagle and sending the super dragons or whatever air you're preferring from this top side in, you have a really clear path into that town hall, so you can take it out without any problems. But then as well, obviously, those black mines are going to be a really big pain. So I think we should just watch the replay and see how this base defended. And then we have the second base as well coming in just a second, which got used 4 times in this tournament, and it's got not tripled once. Not a single time. And that's in a meta for the pros. For the pros, I mean, obviously, it's a huge difference right now between pros and casuals. Pros getting 14, 15 stars every single match with the 5 versus 5 matches. Obviously, casuals are struggling quite a bit. So there's a big difference. But this means in a meta where pros are getting like 14, 15 stars quite often, which we had this weekend in the Castle Cup, I mean, a base which is not getting 3-star once in 4 matches, that's something special. And we're going to take a look at that in just a second. But before, let's jump to the replay. Gensan Clash versus Tompinai was one of the matches of this last weekend. And we have actually Super Dragons, which is like the perfect example on how those bases can defend. Because I think Super Dragons is like one of the most common things which you guys are getting attacked from most of the time. So, as I said, exactly what I said is about to happen. So, we have the heroes into the eagle. We have the super dragons into the top side. He is using, though, a blimp with a couple of clones. So that's going to be interesting to see what is in there. But we have those super dragons quickly swarming this top side. One super dragon is going shopping, but still, the other super dragons are still on board and going strong into their town direction. You can see this clear path for the super dragons towards the town hall, with the queen on the far right side getting sent in. And there we have it. All of those traps are getting triggered. Red bombs, air skeletons, everything coming up. And you can see this town hall is not about to fall. I'm not sure if he forgot the invisibility spell. Not really sure. But even with this town hall going down, you can see how many problems those super dragons have with all of those core black mines. You can see black mines are getting triggered left and right. And those super dragons pretty much only got this top side. This is insane. Even with the town hall going down, this would have been not a 3-star, which is all what matters for pro play. If it's not a 3-star, if it's a 99, if it's a 98, whatever it is, as long as it's not a 3-star, it's a successful defense. And this defense is just insane from Eltano right there, using his own base and having a lot of success with it. There's the freeze, but you can see it. The town hall is not ticking, not going down that quickly. And at the end, it is even going to survive. So another 1-star for Eltano. And well, obviously we have the Super Dragon getting a few more percentage. But as I said, even with the Town Hall not staying alive, this would have been not a 3-star, not by any means, because there is still a lot of important defenses left. The Royal Gem on defense, the Scatter Shot, the Warden, so a lot of good things on defense still there, even with the Town Hall going down. That's how you defend those Super Dragons. So really nicely done. OP base builder right there, getting back-to-back those 1-stars on defense, which kind of feels like impossible in pro play at the moment. So really good job to Eltano. And now I think we should take a look at this unbeatable base. And I know unbeatable base is a strong term, but at the same time, this base from Hardtech got used 4 times in this Worlds qualifier, like in this Castle Cup qualifier for Worlds, and not a single time a 3-star onto this base. So really beauty. Well done by Hardtech. He created a monster. Let me know how quickly you were able to 3-star with this base, because I think after what I just said, I think a lot of people are going to try to 3-star this base. So let me know which strategy you used and how you got this working. And as I said, if you say, okay, I'm interested into more bases from those godly base builders like Hardtech, like Eltano, make sure to visit the RH base building website and give it a try. You can buy those bases over there. If you want to have a 10% discount, you can just use code ITSU. No problem with that. It's quite easy, and you can get those crazy bases out there. But now let's take a look at a couple of those traps before I'm talking too much about this base without actually talking about the traps. Because the first things first, which might be a big surprise, is this. What is going on with those skeleton traps, you might ask? Well, the answer is pretty simple. One reason why it's out there is because of headhunters, obviously. Because Queen Charge Hybrid is not getting used that often in pro play. So why would you defend it? Instead, people are trying to defend Lalo, and defending Lalo is actually working with spring traps. If you might think now, like, Itsu is going crazy, how would you defend Lalo with spring traps? That makes no, well, part of Lalo are headhunters to take down defending heroes. So for example, like this Royal Champion right there could be protected by those spring traps. The same spring traps over there, for example. So that's kind of the purpose of those, making sure that those headhunters are not getting through and those heroes are staying alive. And with that, Lalo can be defended as well. Not only the base itself, like not only red mines, not only multi-inferno towers, but defending those heroes is a really important thing as well. That's the first thing. And then obviously with how they are located, you can spring witches as well with like a P.E.K.K.A. smash, for example. That's possible as well. So there's many things where they're kind of useful in that position, even though it might be surprising. Then the next thing is, again, based on the sweepers, we have one sweeper pointing to the left, one to the top side, so like an Super Dragon push or something from this far right side might be really strong, and that's, or we remove that town, or we can see the tornado trap is placed against that from that position. So it really depends on what you think you might get attacked by, from. This time around though, the Tesla form, for example, on this far left side, if some people, like this setup is really anti-Lalo. Because with the Tesla farm, obviously, someone who tries, if you take a look at the scout view, if someone tries to like push the king into that scatter compartment and tries to take down the queen as well, that's not going to work with this Tesla farm and all of those crazy traps, obviously. So that's not going to be easy. So this setup is really anti-Lalo, and I think we should take a look at the replay. And then I will give you some tips and tricks how you can maybe adjust if you want to make this base a little bit more anti-Super Dragons, for example. Anti-Super Dragons indeed, and we have already the attack starting, and you can see as well, he switched the Tesla form, and that's the cool thing about the Tesla form. It is such a flexible tool to make sure that whatever you need to defend is defended. So for example, this guy is really trying to go for this mortar with the Yeti to make sure that the town hall is accessible with the flame flamer. That's the idea. But overall, he's running into a ton of Tesla protecting this mortar right there, and with that, this flame flinger is not getting any value. So that's like the first thing, and obviously it's a really situational thing, but that's all about reading your opponent. That's so important, especially in pro play, but as well for regular players. If you can see, like, just watching your opponent clan, maybe watch their army camps, things like that, and see what they're actually using. This can give you a lot of information about them. If they're having Electro Dragons cooked up, if they have Lalo cooked up, this is telling you a lot. So for example, protecting the town a little bit better with like Tesla and everything, it works wonders, especially against people who are trying to get the town in a cheap way, which for a lot of strategies is really important. On this attack, though, we can see clan castles get looted out a little bit. The dragons around the town hall took a lot of damage actually, and now all of the other super dragons are left to this to the other side. And as I said, this base overall was used in 4 matches of Tompinai, and it has not been 3-star once. As I said, Hardtech going crazy with this base, and especially as well, one thing which you should never underestimate is the team which is testing the base. So huge shout out obviously to Tompinai as well, creating with Hardtech together and testing obviously the base, most likely getting this base set up for the tournament. You can see so many skeletons are now popping up, giving this back end hero push a really nightmare of getting more and more percentage. And with that, it is going to be around about an 80% 2-star. As I said, everything which is a defense is already a big success for like on pro level, and everything like below 90% is a really good defense, and everything else is most of the time like a bait or the attacker messed up. On this one, it was the bait with the tester. Really nice read. And guys, as I said, down below in the comments you can find the base links, give them some love, and as well huge shout out as well for RH Base Bidding for putting up those bases, and especially Hardtech with the second base and Eltano with the first base. 2 amazing base builders right there. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope those bases are going to do some wonders for you. And as I said, if don't, maybe think about buying then your own custom made base on the RH Base Bidding server. But that's for me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.